Hey there, guys. Welcome to Anthony Reviews. We're Anthony Reviews. And Happy New Year. Welcome to 2021. I mean, you've heard all through 2020 how 2020 was an awful year and blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to bog you down with that. We all know how, unfortunate the year has been. But this video is about celebrating some of the good things that came from 2020, like the top 10 action figures in my collection that I got this year. So, we all know how it works. It's my personal picks. 10 figures that I chose that I purchased in this year that came out this year. But let's go ahead and get into the list, shall we? So coming in at number 10 is the WWE Elite Series Hurricane Shane Helms. This is from Mattel, of course. This is part of their long-running Elite Series of figures spanning across, several different eras of wrestling and WWE in general. But I like this figure quite a bit. The Hurricane is one of my favorite wrestlers. He's not really like a top, guy, but, he's obviously a superhero fan, which I can relate to. Big missing piece here is the Green Lantern logo, but I understand you can't, there's some things you just can't do. But, I quite enjoy the Hurricane. I think he's a fantastic performer. He's a fun character, and I think this captures his look very, very well. Of course, we have the cape here with the logo, very nice shiny green. We've got the green detailing and the black here, very clean looking. We've got his sort of lips that the character is known for having a lot of the time. So really good detail, just a really solid representation of this wrestler. So that's why I have it here at number 10. And the next figure we have here is the Lightning Collection Blaze figure from Power Rangers Beast Morphers. This is a figure I actually managed to get a review out. If you go check on my channel, I did a review of the entire wave that this guy was included in. And yeah, this is a relatively newer character, part of the Beast Morphers series that was on Nickelodeon from Hasbro. And I don't know, I like him. He's got a very distinct look, not super Power Ranger, but it's like it's still, you can tell. Like if someone told you that this was a Power Ranger, you'd probably be able to guess based off of the visor and everything. So I think it looks neat. There's a lot of cool detail. I like the little silver rivets and everything. I mean, you can get them in a pretty cool pose, I would say. The nice silver detail. All in all, it's just, I wasn't expecting to love this figure, but I think it came out really, really well. And yeah, it's unique. It's not a Tommy figure. It's not from Mighty Morphin. It's new. It's different, and it kind of presents what Hasbro and Power Rangers means, and it's new. It's new. So yeah, Blaze, very cool figure. I would recommend it, of course. Then here at number 8, we have the, what is it called? Masters of the WWE Universe, the sort of mashup of He-Man, Masters of the Universe, and WWE figures. So they have a whole line of figures, and this is one of my, I guess, technically my favorite. Now, I will admit, the reason that this one is representing the line is mainly because I haven't really had a chance to get many of the other figures. I have most of the first 2 waves, and that's about it. Other figures really didn't show up too much, but this figure is fantastic. If I could have one figure out of all the figures I have right now from the WWE He-Man crossover, this is the one. It's John Cena, which you can see, right? You can tell that's John Cena. It's John Cena, but he's faker John Cena. So for those of you who are unaware, in the He-Man universe, there's like a Bizarro Superman type character called Faker. So you have John Cena, and then you have Faker John Cena. But to go the extra mile, he's designed more so, well, someone after his sort of original John Cena character as sort of a rapper. He's got the word life. This is basic thugonomics kind of Cena. He's got the padlock on a chain. So it's a unique look without having to go too different, but I mean, he's got like this nice transparent sort of blue look to him. I just think he's really unique, and he's a really cool looking toy. That's what it really came down to, is that if I could only have one of the WWE He-Man figures, it's this one, because he is, as they say, toyetic. Then we have the McFarlane Batman Curse of the White Knight Azrael figure. Now, this figure is just so good looking, I mean, I really wanted to get this figure no matter if I got any of the other White Knight figures, which, to be fair, I did get the other figures, but this Azrael just has such nice detail with the gold and, you know, these big things that him and like Mr. Sinister seem to have. But I mean, just look at him. We don't get a whole lot of Azrael figures to begin with, so I felt like I had to get this figure just because it's a chance to get this character that we don't get often. But luckily, they did a fantastic job with the sculpting and everything. I think he's a nice, big, bulky figure. You know, I've got the sword with a nice fire effect on it. Like, this is a nice looking piece. I would say that if you're gonna try to limit yourself on the McFarlane figures, this is definitely one to get just because he stands out. It's a Batman character, but, you know, and granted, there is an Azrael Batman that I did get, but this one stands out for being a little bit different, and I like that about it. So highly, highly recommend getting the McFarlane Azrael figure. Very cool. And at number 6, we have Ahsoka Tano from the Black Series, repping her sort of Clone Wars Season 7 look. I would say for a lot of Star Wars fans, the Black Series line is sort of the main Star Wars line at this point, and we've all wanted Ahsoka Tano. You know, Ahsoka Tano was introduced in Clone Wars, and the fact that Clone Wars is able to finish out in 2020 is really great. So it was cool to finally get a nice cartoon version of her. You know, we've gotten the Rebels version a while back, but, you know, it's Rebels. People wanted Clone Wars, and we got Clone Wars, so I think she looks great. I like the new outfit. It's new, but at the same time, it's still distinctly Ahsoka. And while it does reuse some bits, it reuses them well. So I have no problem if they reuse bits if it doesn't detract from the overall figure. And I think they did a good job with this one. It's not distracting. It doesn't look like it's a complete reuse. They did a really, really good job at making it its own thing. So Ahsoka Tano, fantastic figure. She was a big part of 2020, so you know, she had to be on the list. And entering the top 5, we have the Prophet Destro. I mean, it's called that, but like really, we all think of this as Pimp Destro, right? I see most people referring to this as Pimp Daddy Destro because he's all blinged out. He's got so much gold with the accents. He is literal burning money, which I think is just, it's just great. I mean, come on, this is awesome. He's got the cool like glasses and leopard prints, or it's so unique. I mean, the fact that this is something that was included within the first year of the new G.I. Joe classified line is brilliant in my opinion. You know, like usually you think this stuff is saved for, you know, exclusives way later down the line when they need to reuse molds, but I don't know, like this is just fun. It's gaudy, it's ridiculous, but it's supposed to be, you know? Like I don't think they're trying to pass this off as like oh well, here's your definitive Destro. Like they released a definitive Destro and he's great. But this represents that, you know, don't take the line too seriously. These are toys. Let's have some fun. And that's exactly what I got from this figure, and I really like that for that. It's a really nice looking piece. It's great. How can you not love this? It's so ridiculous. Now we have a fairly recent figure. This is from the 2-pack from Lightning Collection. This is the SPD Blue Ranger, which came in a 2-pack with the A Squad Blue Ranger. This is, of course, the character Sky Tate. And I mean, the reason he's so high on this list is that Sky Tate is one of my favorite Power Ranger characters. I love what he goes through. I love his sort of character arc in the show. I thought he's great. So to get a figure of this character is awesome. You know, it's the same as getting your favorite Justice League member or your favorite Avenger. You know, this is one of my all-time favorite Power Rangers, and he looks good. He's got an excellent, you know, badge of accessories and everything. Just absolutely great. So SPD is a fantastic show with fantastic characters, and I'm glad the figures are just as good. We're really building the SPD, you know, team at this point. So I think maybe by this time next year we may have a complete SPD team. I don't know, but this is just great. So thank you, Hasbro, for this awesome figure. So that's really all I have to say. Like I said, it's mainly a bias towards the character, but it's still a great looking figure for sure. Then at number 3, we have the G.I. Joe Classified Series Cobra Commander. He's got his pointing finger. This is one of the few characters to come with interchangeable hands, so it's like, well, if he's going to be one of the few, you better use it. But he's commanding. He's the Cobra Commander. Cobra Commander is my favorite G.I. Joe character. I just think he's a lot of fun. And, you know, a lot of people, they have issues with the G.I. Joe Classified line, but, you know, this still looks like Cobra Commander to me. He's got the right amount of details. He's got the helmet and everything. He looks quite good. He's got a sword. You know, it's a bit more than his basic design, sure, but it still feels like the character to me, and I really appreciate that. Very, very good looking. I mean, you gotta have a Cobra Commander, right? Like, it's Cobra. This is the guy. You gotta have him. I also did have the sort of Regal, I'll move the camera up, Regal variant to it. That was a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. Haven't opened this up yet, but as you can see, it's a lighter blue, more of a gold color. Not sure if I'll open this just yet. It just looks good in the packaging as is, but just letting you know, I have this one as well. Then coming in at number 2, it is the McFarlane Flash figure based off of the Flash Rebirth design. Now, of course, this was another figure that I had the pleasure of reviewing this year. So if you'd like to check out that review on my channel, feel free to, check it out. But yeah, this is just such a good figure. A lot of the previous choices on my list are because they're my favorite characters, and I'm just happy to have them in plastic representation. And while I like the Flash, he's not one of my all-time favorites. And that really goes to show you how good this McFarlane figure is. He just exudes everything that is likable about the Flash character. I don't think this is going to be a lot of people's favorite figure of the year, but I mean, he made my top 3. He's number 2. I mean, it's just, he looks awesome. I love the proportions. I love the face. He's great. Absolutely fantastic. This is an awesome, awesome Flash figure. And finally, at number 1, we have the Transformers Earthrise Voyager class Starscream. So if you watched my review last year, I put the Siege Starscream at number 1, and this year he takes the number 1 spot yet again, just because this is the regular version. You know, like last year, the whole point of the line before this one, Siege, was that it was Cybertronian. You know, it was meant to look like a spaceship. And this one is just straight up G1. You know, he looks like Starscream as you would think he would. He's fantastic. Like, this is just an absolute brilliant representation of my favorite Transformers character. You know, it's great. It's absolutely great. Earthrise, I know a lot of people were kind of like, yeah, you know, we've gotten used to it. G1 this, G1 that. But they're producing some of the best G1 homages that they ever have. And, you know, for some people, understandably, kind of sick of the G1 era of Transformers. But, I mean, it's Starscream, and I'll always love Starscream. And with Starscream, you get other Seekers as well, so they put this mold to good use by pumping out the other Seekers. But, yeah, this is just fantastic. I do not whatsoever expect this to be anyone else's number 1, but it's mine, and that's what matters. So there you guys go. Here were my top 10 figures of 2020. Once again, I really don't want to have to get into the fact that 2020 was the year that it was. We all experienced it, and to be honest, 2021 might not be that much better, but we just have to push forward, guys. We have to sort of do the best that we can, work with what we have, and, you know, try to be better. All of us try to be better. But thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to check out some of my other videos. As I mentioned, I did a review of some of these figures here, and feel free to check out my Instagram and Twitter at Anthony Lantern. You can subscribe, like the video if you want, all the typical YouTube stuff. But thank you guys so much. I hope you look forward to whatever I produce here in 2021. But for now, take care.